It's so crazy, people so lazy, truly amaze me, but don't even faze thee. You sit there at the table, perfectly able, create your own destiny, be your own chef and see, create the right recipe, use whatever's best in thee. Timing is everything, possibly only thing. Dynasties made like me, put suffering into blame. Invest in yourself, you're you, no one else. Remember that the stress reminds us that
Good morning, and welcome to the Righteous Teachers Show. Thank you for tuning in for the next couple of minutes. We hope you receive something more valuable than silver and gold, and that is knowledge and wisdom. My goal is to inform you and inspire you to new thought, motivation, inspiration, and aspiration techniques to open up eyes and spark intrigue. My hope is that with this knowledge, you can transcend your current conditions. Today's topic, 10 things every single person should know. 10 things every single person should know. And as always, I'm your host, Rated R. Remember the name and you'll go far. This actually show today was requested by some other groups. And of course, the more you know, the more you're able to grow. 10 things every single person should know. All right, so make sure that you have something to write with, something to write on, or something to type on so that you can take notes. Because, you know, not only single people can take advantage of this, but also married people as well. All right, number one, a deepening relationship with God. You have to let God into all rooms of your house. We tend to treat God like a visitor. If we're represented as a house, we let him in the rooms that are the good rooms. Houses back in the day used to have that room that no one went into unless they were a special guest. Some used to have plastic on the furniture, right? If you went over your aunt or your grandmother or whatever like that, the good room, right? Some of us just let God into the good rooms. We need to let God into every room. When you have an infection or an issue, it needs to be aired out. And a lot of times, the best way that person or spiritual grounding to air out something is with God. Let him in the upstairs. Let him in the closet that has everything and nothing. Right? Old raincoats, skates, jackets. Let God into every area of your life. The good and the bad, and especially the ugly. Right? If you're going into a relationship and you're not spiritually right, or you're not evenly yoked with someone, there's going to be problems. Because there's no moral grounding for the both of you. Right? You need a common grounding for you guys to have the right chemistry to keep moving on. So number one, you have to have a deepening relationship with God, right? I happen to be a Christian of the Christian strand. So my God, of course, is Jehovah. And that's pretty much in the relationship that I'm soon to be in. They'll have to, of course, be the same belief. Number two, you need to seek a whole life. As a single person, you should not be waiting on someone. Don't be waiting on someone to do stuff. Right? A lot of times people waste their singleness because they're always waiting on somebody. Well, I don't want to go to the movies, and I don't want to go roller skating. I don't want to go to the mall on my own. No, you need to be comfortable with who you are. If you're not comfortable in who you are and like who you are, then how can anybody else like it? You can't be waiting on somebody, because that means that you'll be waiting on someone to make you happy. Someone to complete you. Everybody used to say that back in the day. We need somebody that completes us, and that is not correct. You're not 25%, 5%, 75% of a person. If you go into a relationship like that, there'll be a deficit. And we know that when there's a deficit, that leads to a drain. A drain either financially or a drain emotionally on the other person. So you need to go into that relationship well-rounded. And at that point, you need to have had used your singleness to develop every aspect of yourself. You need to be fully developed before you go into that relationship. You need to be 100% good with you, 100% happy with you. If you're all those things, then that person will compliment you because you're not relying on them to make you whole. You already know how to make yourself whole. You already know how to make yourself happy. So number 2, seek a whole life. Do not think that someone else is going to complete you. You should be a finished product going into that situation. Number 3, develop interests beyond homework and school. Either world affairs, government. Broaden your horizons. Have many interests because here's a good one. Interests make you interesting. Interests make you interesting. Imagine being with the same person for the next 40 years and they change nothing about themselves. How old and stale would that relationship get? Same jokes, same meals being cooked, same side of the bed, same color paint. Everything's the same. Keep developing yourself. Keep learning new things. Keep yourself growing. This is a huge thing in relationships. You have to keep growing. Right? You can't assume that, you know what, well, okay, now we're in a relationship, now we're married. Okay, it's done. I just get to sit back and kick it. They're going to take care of me for the rest of it. I'll ride this out. You have to keep being interesting. Keep bringing something new to the table. Hey, let's go to the opera or let's go to the orchestra or whatever. Whatever you at first you were like, no, I don't do that. Or, oh, I don't think I'm going to do it. Keep changing. Keep learning something. Book. Get some books. Read on something. Do art. I know that in my prior relationship, we used to do something called painting with the twist, that you would go to a painting class and you would have a little wine with that. And it was always a great time. And you would come out with some great artwork at the end, and it would just be great conversation and fun. Keep developing interests beyond your job, school, and home. More interests. That was number 3. Number 4, exercise your body and your mind. Exercise your body and your mind. You want longevity. Nobody wants to get in a relationship and all of a sudden start develop feelings and fall in love with someone and then they pass on. Right? You want longevity. You want a long-term love, affair, relationship, marriage. The only way you're going to do that is you need to be able to exercise. You have to have the healthiest vessel that you're ever going to have, and you need to do exercise. One thing exercise does very well is it helps to reduce stress. Right? Get up in the morning and do some walking. Get up in the morning, do some push-ups, some crunches. Help to reduce some stress. Right? Some people take care of their cars better than their bodies. Oh, I need the super synthetic $100 oil change, and I only use premium gas. But we'll eat anything and everything. Eat well, exercise, and you'll definitely be rewarded. That's a definite. That's a guaranteed reward for you to exercise and eat well. That's undisputable. And imagine that you're eating well and exercising. Are you going to maintain an allure for your significant other? Right, I heard on a podcast with Nori, they were talking about men that cheat. And he said some of the most profound thing I ever heard. He said, make your wife into your mistress. And he said, make sure that she gets some wigs, and she exercises and she maintains herself. So that therefore you're not looking, because men, we are visual. We're visual. There's no getting around that. Another thing about exercising is, if you can't take care of yourself, how can you take care of anyone else? How can you do it? You can't do it. Oh, that's how you eat? Oh, okay, that's what you're doing? Oh gosh. Oh boy, I can't wait for the diabetes and high blood pressure. Take care of yourself. Take care of your body. You get one body. But I said exercise your body. You need to also exercise your mind. And by that, I mean read. Keep reading information. At least an hour a day, reading something. If you know things, people find you more appealing. If you know things, people find you more useful. If you know things, people find you more valuable. Keep developing that brain. If you're older, take classes. It doesn't matter what it is, just keep fueling knowledge into your brain. Keep the plasticity of your brain up. And I got an article here, and it's about brain anti-aging steps, right? To better neuroplasticity. Engage in new and challenges each and every day. Whole brain thinking. When faced with something that seems unfamiliar or difficult, go for it. Practice focused attention. When you fully focus your attention on objects, events, new information, or conversations, your neuroplasticity is heightened. Explore like a child with wonder. You want that. I can tell you, and I can personally attest to that last couple of years with my mother when she had the dementia. You don't want to go through that. At some point this vessel's going to break down, but the mind can continue to be super sharp. Because I do have a grandmother. She's in her 90s. She's still super sharp. She remembers everything still. So you need, number 4, exercise your body and your mind. Keep this relationship going. Number 5, avoid people who seek to control and silence your personality. You need to find someone who accepts and loves the person that you are. They love and accept the person that you are. Now, if you improve and get better, well, that's bonus. Right now, there are some things that sometimes people can be corrected, or there's some people that lack any home training, and that is different. That is different. You're actually trying to improve that person. They don't need to maybe open their mouths while they're eating, or burp in public loud like that, or pass gas. Right? They didn't get the correct home training. Sometimes they may say some things that are a little off color, and you got to be like, hey, look, honey, you can't be doing that. It's not a good look. Nobody thought it was funny. But someone trying to control or diminish your fire that you brought to the world is detrimental and not conducive for a long-term relationship, let alone a marriage. I'm going to say that one more time. Someone trying to control or diminish your fire that you brought to this world is detrimental and non-conducive for a long-term relationship, let alone a marriage. Each and every one of us is born special. Each and every one of us has a gift. That's what's beautiful about the world, is that everybody is a little bit different. Find someone that sees that special uniqueness in you. Number 6, respect marriage. Do not be all up in married people's faces. Do not be up in people's faces that are in a relationship. That marriage and that relationship was hard enough without having to deal with you coming along with your flirtations or issues or questions. Do not be overly critical of other people's relationships. Sometimes people talk to their best friends. Everybody talks about their relationships they're in. Don't be overly critical. Right? If that person is having that issue, try to help them see a different perspective or point of view, or help them resolve it. Right? But if you're getting to the point where you're giving advice to that person and they're not accepting it, and all of a sudden you're getting upset over their relationship, you're too involved. Stop being so critical of your companion. No one will fit a perfect mold. No one will fit a perfect mold. So if you're involved with someone and you're trying to think that they're going to fit this 100% perfect Prince Charming or Mrs. Right, you have to deal with Mr. Almost and Miss Pretty Close. And be okay with that. Because relationships, of course, are always a give and take. Number 7, live and budget within your means. Live and budget within your means. In debt people affect you personally. They affect you personally. Right? Nobody really wants to hang out with the dude that's broke. I gotta support that the entire night while we're out. Right? I was speaking to a young lady about this, and like men and women are different. We're different. A woman literally can go out with no money, have drinks, get some food, get some number, and maybe get involved in a situation. No money. Nothing. Guy has no money, you're not even going out. If you're not making any money, you don't have any business going out anyway, fellas. And realistically, ladies. But it's different. But live and budget within your means. You should be not only exercising and responsible for your body, reading and being responsible for your mind, but you should have some sort of financial understanding on how to budget before you get involved in a relationship. Right? Don't make decisions based on desperation. If you're a person that is found yourself in a lot of debt, and then you all of a sudden come across a prospect that's making a lot of money, and then you bring your huge amount of debt into that relationship, that's going to put a strain. Number 8, set a guard around your heart. Don't give everybody your heart. It hurts too much when it gets broken. Be sober, not intoxicated by anyone else. Understand that sometimes you can be in love and you can also be in lust. Value yourself. Out of your heart flows the issues of your life. Out of your heart flows the issues of your life. If your heart isn't in it, then you're not going to be in it. If your heart gets broken, it's going to hurt you for a while. So set a guard around your heart. Right? When I was younger, that would always be like, take it slow, take it slow, take it slow. But when you're younger, of course, no, it's all good. We're going to go. We're in. We're doing it. It's great. And then 6-7 months later, man, what was I thinking? Make sure you set a guardrail around your heart. Number 9, managing your sexual appetite. It's an acquired behavior. We all have different appetites, right? For food, for fun, for clothing, for games. We all have different appetites. There are small people out there that eat all the time. They eat a ton of food. There's big people out there that just eat a little bit grain of rice. Right? Everybody has a different appetite. Right? You have to manage yours with someone else's. That's a part of the compromise. Right? It can't be a buffet every night. Right? But then of course we can't go fasting for 21 days either. So it's got to be some sort of compromise, and it has to be an ongoing process. All right, so managing your sexual appetite, because that has to be there. That component has to be there. Has to be there. And finally, number 10, try not to make decisions that complicate your life, i.e. having a baby. And a baby's mom, or a baby's daddy, or acquiring a disease, or getting divorced, quitting your job. Right? This adds to complexity in an already complex world. This layer can make someone have to pass you because you're carrying too many heavy bags from your past for you to actually be able to celebrate and enjoy your present. Right? Try not to make decisions that complicate your life. Another thing, taking it slow. Right? Before you get fully involved, fully vested with somebody, know them. You know what's a great thing to do too is meet their parents, because the parents, no matter what, are always going to give you the real deal on people. They're going to give you the real deal about who you're dealing with, and then they're going to talk about you when you leave, about whether they kind of, and you know, we'll listen sometimes we won't, but there is some sane and good logical reasoning that goes into that. All right. So those are the 10 things every single person should know. And if you follow that format, you should put yourself in a good position to have a great long-term relationship with plenty of growth, understanding, and fun, and changes, right? Another tip is that the person that you're dealing with now is going to be different in about 7 years. Right? I was looking at a psychological report on people, and it's about every 7 years they change. Like when you were 7, you're different when you're 14. When you're 14, you're different when you're 21. When you're 28, you're different when you're 35. When you're 35, you're different when you're 42. Right? So you're going to constantly be changing and evolving with that person. So be mindful of that person's going to be changing and evolving. respect that, because you're going to be doing the same thing. All right. Well, that is it for the show today. Thank you very much for tuning in. Remember, this is Rated R. Remember that name and you'll go far. Of course, the more you know, the more you grow. Peace, love, and blessings. Came to the game late but right on time. The ship was kinda skewed, so I need to realign. Fate of the people who the word spoke. Those with clear minds and those with the smoke. May the best teach the rest. Like Dubois, never let negativity manifest. You're a star in every sense that matters. We change by shattering the chains that bind us. Put the bull behind us. There's rules to this game, and podcast is the same. Put the whack kids to shame. Were we all made the same? Special cloth is all I see and want in my company. Living lovely is the key. It's really nice changing up the scenery. Thank you again for listening. This is the Righteous Teacher Show with your host, Rated R. Remember that name and you will go far. Peace, love, and blessings.